What's up everyone, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel. Today we will see what if Naruto found Zen-Aku's mask and entered the Animarium. If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments. And also check the description box to original creator of this beautiful creation. Without further ado, let's get the show on the road. October 10th. It's been 7 years since the village of Konoha faced its greatest attack and remained standing by the nine-tailed fox who was sealed into a newborn baby at the cost of the 4th Hokage Minato Namikaze. It is a nice sunny day in Konoha where we find Naruto running towards training ground 44, also named Forest of Death, to get away from a mob of people who had grabbed anything they could grab as a weapon, from planks of wood to kunai. "Stop running, get back here, demon spawn, brat. Today we finish what 4th started," shouts the mob. Naruto just managed to get over the fence that surrounded the forest before the mob got to him, then throw some kind of bomb that contained sneezing powder at the mob, then run into the forest. It has been a couple of hours since Naruto run into the Forest of Death and was starting to get dark and is raining when he came across a cave and decided to stay in for the night so he could see what treasures he might find inside and stay out of the storm that doesn't show any sign of stopping. A couple hours of exploring the cave, Naruto finds a chest and decides to open it and sees that it has a black mask with white and what might look like a blue marble at the base of the forehead. Look up Zen-Aku Google. "A mask? What is a mask doing in here?" shouted Naruto as he felt something drawing him to him, and so he puts it on before everything went black. Mindscape. When Naruto comes to, he finds himself in what looks like a sewer. How did I get into a sewer? He thought to himself, then goes and explore. Being a 7-year-old, curiosity gets the best of him. After a while he comes to a cage with a piece of paper with a kanji for seal. "Hello, is anybody in there?" Naruto shouted into the cage, then a pair of red eyes opened and looked at him. "So, my jailer comes to visit me," boomed the being behind the bars that sounded kind of feminine and came into the light, reviled the nine-tailed fox. "Who are you and how am I your jailer?" Naruto asked with a questionable look. "I would like to know that," came a second voice. Both Naruto and the fox looked to see a wolf-like man all in black with yellow eyes that seemed to glow. "Okay, you can introduce yourself after I explained, as you shouldn't be here," said the Kyuubi before turning her attention back to Naruto. "Now Naruto, I will explain everything, so please keep quiet and ask me question when I am done." Getting a nod from Naruto. "Now as to who I am, I'm sad say that I am the Kyuubi that attacked your village 7 years ago, but not by choice, as I was happy to remain in my second container as we had become friends. As for the jailer comment, what else would you call it when your 4th Hokage sealed me in you?" The Kyuubi continued. "Okay, that does not explain where we are," Naruto asked. "We are in your mindscape or your subconscious, as I am sealed inside you," the Kyuubi explained. "Now you have questions, I suppose." "Okay, who was your second container and who made you attack the village?" questioned Naruto. "For your first one, my second container was none other than your mother Kushina, and for your second one, I don't know. All I remember is an orange swirl mask with a lone eye, what you humans call the Sharingan, then waking up when you called," the Kyuubi explained. "Alright," Naruto said, then turned to the wolf-like creature, then asked, "What about you?" "I am Zen-Aku, a wolf-like demon that was sealed in that cursed mask you put on. The curse is me taking over your body, but it appears that I cannot do it as it now has been destroyed." "Not sure how thought," Zen-Aku explained. "I am the one that destroyed the mask as I felt it was dangerous to my and Naruto's life," the Kyuubi explained, then turned her attention back to Naruto, then said, "Now Naruto, go get some sleep." When Naruto disappeared to rest, the Kyuubi and Zen-Aku looked thought Naruto's memories. When they were done, they were appalled what the boy had went thought and still remained strong, that someone 3 times his age would have broken down. Zen-Aku then got an idea and turned to the Kyuubi and said, "I need your help." "To do what, may I ask?" the vixen asked. "To temporarily take over the boy, as I might know a place that might keep him safe and possibly to train him," Zen-Aku explained his idea. "So," the Kyuubi agreed, as she wants to help the kid. Real world. We see Naruto body start to grow and change until it looked like Zen-Aku. As the wolf demon took control of Naruto, he exits the cave as it had stopped raining and went to find a river, pond or a lake. After about an hour he found a clear lake, welled up to it and called a name. "Animus, are you there? I really need to talk to you about something," Zen-Aku called into the lake. After a couple of minutes, a figure appeared on the surface. Look up Animus as to lazy to describe, and asked, "What do you need to talk about?" Zen-Aku I know I am asking a lot, but can you summon me to the Animarium so we can discuss this with Princess Shayla as it concerns the boy I now inhabit? Zen-Aku asked. Animus took some serious thought about what to do before agreeing to what Zen-Aku had asked, then disappeared. Then Zen-Aku did couple minutes later. When Zen-Aku appeared in front of Princess Shayla and Kite, Animus human form. He told them what everything from who he now inhabits to how Naruto was treated due to his Jinchuriki status. While this was going on, Kite looked at Naruto's past to see if the wolf demon was lying. Then Princess Shayla and Kite went up to discuss what to do. When they came back, Princess Shayla told Zen-Aku what was going on as Kite revered to his original form and went to speak to Hiruzen and learn about the surface. We have decided to let him stay as he will be saved here, and should he want to train, which he will help with, Princess Shayla told. I agree and was going to volunteer to help, and the vixen wants to help as well, Zen-Aku said, relieved, then released his control over Naruto's body. When Princess Shayla saw Naruto, she gasped as she saw just how malnourished Naruto was. You could use his ribs as a xylophone, then decided to be the mother that he needed. Meanwhile, back in Konoha, Hiruzen was looking for Naruto as he saw the 7-year-old as his own grandson. He had several members of Anbu looking and was looking, thought his ball, but all effects proved to be useless. He was about to call it a day and go home and try again tomorrow when he heard, "Hello, Hiruzen." The old man started to look around but saw no one, then heard, "The window." The old man looked at the window and saw Animus. Okay, all that paperwork is finally getting to me. I hallucinating, Hiruzen thought out loud. You are not hallucinating me, Hiruzen. My name is Animusue. Have something or someone to talk about, namely Naruto Uzumaki, Animus told the Hokage, then said, Naruto found a cursed mask that contained Zen-Aku, who processed him, then took him to Animarium, where he will be staying until comes of age or when the academy students his age graduates in 7 years' time. Alright, so what do you plan to do with him in the meantime, and what are you? Hiruzen asked. As I have said, my name is Animus, and I am part of what you humans call summons that have a unique ability of combining. I am the boss of the Wild Zords as well as a semi-immortal princess named Shayla who is our caretaker, Animus explained. As for Naruto, we plan on teaching him how to fight, how to use the Wild Zords and general living. After some small talk, Animus left and took 3 scrolls that Hiruzen had asked give Naruto if he wants to become a ninja if the leaf is there, the final test substitution, transformation and clone, but he gave Animus the cage bunchin without knowing, then went home. The next morning, on Animarium, Naruto wake up to see a nice looking stone area with a stone lion and a fountain. And then from the fountain came a orb of light, then turned into a lady wearing a white dress. When she saw Naruto awake, she smiled and said morning, but Naruto was nervous due to waking up in an unknown location in his past and done the only thing he could think of, and that was run away. When Naruto came to a watering hole, he stopped to calm down, heard rumbling, looked around to see 2 huge creatures, a white tiger and a black bison. Then Kite showed up and explained how he got here, what the creature were called, and what he was going to train him with the Kyuubi and Zen-Aku's help. Hey Zen-Aku Kyuubi, can you hear me? Naruto thought. Yes, came the reply. Just wanted to say thanks for what you have done and for the training I'm getting. Naruto thanked, then asked Kite, when the training begins. Tomorrow, came Kite's answer, as you need to apologize to Princess Shayla for running off like that. Naruto agreed and went back to find Princess Shayla looking in the fountain humming, then went up to her and shakenly tapped on her shoulder to get her attention, then said, I am sorry for running from you. Princess Shayla then replied with, it's okay, as you are waking up in a different place and given you history, I would do the same. Time skip 1 year. It has been 1 year since Naruto started training and has learnt that the Wild Zord is not a normal summons due to there being animal crystals instead of a scroll and their unique ability. So Animus, Naruto knows Kite after month 1, gave Naruto flute knife with 5 holes. Zen-Aku flute knife 5 instead of 3. Zen-Aku plans to give Naruto his crescent blade, which is a large double-sided blade, and teach him all the styles of swordplay and his signature move, the crescent wave. He also learned how to make proper meals, and as he kept on getting a powerful slap on the back of the head from the person he came to love as a mother, Princess Shayla, for misbehaving. We find Naruto waking in an iron grip from the sleeping gorgeous red-haired woman with solid E-size breast next to him while getting ready for the next 6 years of training with Animus, Kyuubi and Zen-Aku with the help of the shadow clone that he discovered by accident. Flashback 1 month ago. Naruto finds himself of his mindscape he created for Zen-Aku and Rika as he was pulled there so Rika can show him her human form. "Hey Rika, why did you bring me here? You upset about something?" asked Naruto. "No, nothing like that, just wanted to show you me human form." Then a light just bright enough to cover her body before the mask shrunk down when the light faded to reveal a gorgeous red-haired lady with solid EE-size breast with nice perky rosy and red-trimmed pubic hair before Naruto fainted, which got a smirk from Rika. When Naruto came to and find that Rika was still showing of her plump firm ass, then asked, "Why don't you have any clothes on?" with a face that resembled a tomato. Naruto not know what she had yell agreed, then ripped the seal off, then everything went black when Naruto the Shinigami came as she heard Rika shouted and told her that she will give all 9 tails of power to Naruto and help train him and be his slave as she won't sever the link. When she is about to leave, Rika asked, "Did Kushina Uzumaki died 8 years ago?" The Shinigami shook her head and told her that Kushina is still alive. When Naruto woke up in the morning to find laying on him in her birthday suit was more than he was expecting, so he proceeds to wake Rika up to get answers. "Hey Rika, wake up and get off me," but she would not wake up, so Naruto decides to poke her sides when she started laughing. "Stop it, okay, I'm up," she tried to say but failed. "How did you get out of the seal?" questioned Naruto. "The Shinigami let me out if I keep to my word during my run last night," Rika explained. "She also said that I won't have my power turning you into a Hanyu. So you are going to need to learn yokai and will be stronger and god-like stamina in more ways than one," she said, wiggling her eyebrows. "There was something else. She also said that your mother is still alive, thought she is not sure where though." Shocked was written all over Naruto's face with having not one but 2 bombshells like that at once, then made up his mind to find his mother and ask her why she abandoned him. When Naruto went to his makeshift training ground to learn the Bunshin, he added the wolf's power instead of his own by mistake. When the smoke cleared, he finds Zen-Aku standing there instead of a clone. He then realized that he used the wrong power. Once he was done practice, he went to find Animus. Flashback end. After about 5 minutes of trying to get the naked lady of him, he manages to slip from the grip, then went to find Princess Shayla or Animus. This goes on for 15 minutes before finding both arguing about something. Story of Animarium is and what it entails. Shayla, Animus reasoned. "But he is just a child, he does not need to know yet. Can it wait till he is older?" replied Shayla all motherly. Naruto then interrupts by asking, "Tell me what?" Shayla then replies with a grim look as if she doesn't want to say anything. The history of Animarium is and what being a champion, guardian entails. With a question in mind he asks, "How am I a guardian of Animarium?" Animus answers this time, "You became a guardian of Animarium when I let you use the animal crystals." Naruto spent a couple of minutes pondering what to do. When he thought what to do, he turned to Shayla and said with a serious look, "If this is what I need to know, then tell me the history of Animarium." Shayla then looked and gave a sigh of defeat, then looked at Naruto and said, "Okay, then sit down so I can tell you the history of Animarium," which Naruto does obediently. Jutsu. Now let's get the show on the road. With Naruto sitting ready, Princess Shayla begins, "First you need to know something. You have access to the morphing grid." "What is the morphing grid?" Naruto interrupts. Animus answers, "The morphing grid is a universal energy field which gives power to a group of individual called the Power Ranger. Even if they are an alien, a little kid or an adult. And each team of rangers has a specific link to the morphing grid. When a ranger morphs, they use their morpher to create an entryway and pass through the grid to gain their powers. Once a ranger morphs, the powers that came with the morpher are instantaneously entered their cellular makeup." "Sweet, so when do I get to morph?" said one excited 8-year-old. "You don't, Naruto, as you have some of Zen-Aku's powers when Merrick wear the mask," Shayla explained, trying not hurt her surrogate son feeling. Losing a little of his excitement, Naruto then asked, "What does this morphing thingy have with the history of Animarium?" "It is mostly related, as we will be telling you the groups of rangers and their foes," explained Animus. "Ah, okay, I got it now, so on the history lesson please," Naruto said in a bored tone. "Okay, we start 9,000 years ago. Already know what the 3,000 is for. The next 3,000 is before the Shinobi era and the last 3,000 is from the Jubi to now. When Animarium was on the surface and part of a kingdom called Animaria, all was peaceful when one day we were attacked by a race called Orgs, a subclass demon if you like, when the 6 head guards used the power of the crystal daggers to lift this island into the sky to protect it from the Orgs, where I slept for 3,000 years, as told Naruto how the island came to be in the sky. Now on the ranger groups, Shayla announced as she directed Naruto to the fountain to show him. Like how Tommy does it in Dino Thunder, just going to do the name who they are, the Zords and the villains, as I am only going up to Megaforce. First you have the Mighty Morphin Rangers. The Red Ranger was Jason Lee Scott, then became Rocky De Santos. The Black Ranger was Zach Taylor, then became Adam Park. The Blue Ranger was Billy Cranston. The Yellow Ranger was Trini Kwan, then became Aisha Campbell. The Pink Ranger was Kimberly Ann Hart, then became Catherine Hillard. The last one is Tommy Oliver, started out as the Green Ranger, then became the White Ranger with Zordon as their mentor. Their Zords were the Dinozords, which are the Tyrannosaurus, the Mastodon, the Triceratops, the saber-toothed tiger and pterodactyl, which they combined to form the Dino Megazord, and you have the Dragonzord. Then you have the Thunderzords, which are of the lion, the Firebird, the unicorn, the griffin and the red dragon, which they combined to form the Thunder Megazord, and then you have the White Tigerzord. Then you have Ninjazords, which are of the ape, the frog, the wolf, the bear, the crane and the falcon, which they combined to form the Ninja Falconzord. The last set of Zords are Shogunzords, which are human-shaped Zords in 5 colors: red, blue, black, yellow and white, which they combined to form the Shogun Megazord. The villains were Rito Repulsa, Lord Zed and Rito Revolto armies. Next you have the Zeo Rangers. The red Zeo Ranger was Tommy Oliver. The green Zeo Ranger was Adam Park. The blue Zeo Ranger was Rocky De Santos. The yellow Zeo Ranger was Tanya Sloan. The pink Zeo Ranger was Catherine Hillard. The gold Ranger was Trey of Triforia, then became Jason Lee Scott with Zordon as their mentor. Their Zords were the Zeozords, which are of the Zeozord 1, the Zeozord 2, the Zeozord 3, the Zeozord 4, the Zeozord 5 and the Red Battlezord, which they combined to form the Zeo Mega Battlezord, Pyramidus. And then you have the Super Zeozords, which are the Super Zeozord 1, the Super Zeozord 2, the Super Zeozord 3, the Super Zeozord 4, and the Super Zeozord 5, which they combined to form the Super Zeo Megazord, the Warrior Wheel. The villains were King Mondo, then General Venjik's army. Then you have the Turbo Rangers. The red Turbo Ranger was Tommy Oliver, then became TJ Johnson. The blue Turbo Ranger was Justin Stewart. The green Turbo Ranger was Adam Park, then became Carlos Valerte. The yellow Turbo Ranger was Tanya Sloan, then became Ashley Hammond. The pink Turbo Ranger Catherine Hillard, then became Cassie Chan. The Phantom Ranger was Phantom Ranger with Demetria as their mentor. Their Zords were the Turbozord, which are Red Lightning, Mountain Blaster, Desert Thunder, Dune Star and Wind Chaser, which they combined to form the Turbo Megazord and the Robo Racer. Then there was the Rescue Zord, which are Lightning Fire Tamer, Siren Blaster, Thunderloader, Star Racer, Wind Rescue, which they combined to form the Rescue Megazord, and Artilatron. The villains were Divatox army. After that you have the Space Rangers. The red Space Ranger was Andros. The black Space Ranger was Carlos Valerte. The blue Space Ranger was TJ Johnson. The yellow Space Ranger was Ashley Hammond. The pink Space Ranger was Cassie Chan and the Silver Ranger was Jeanne. They did not have a mentor. Their Zords were the Astro Delta Megazord, which is composed of the Astro Megashuttle, the Astro Megaship and the Delta Megaship, and the Winged Mega Voyager, which is composed of the Mega Winger Mega Voyager, which is composed of Mega V1, Mega V2, Mega V3, Mega V4, Mega V5. There are the United Alliance of Evil. Then you have the Lost Galaxy Rangers. The Galaxy Red Ranger was Leo Corbett. The Galaxy Green Ranger was Damon Henderson. The Galaxy Blue Ranger was Kai Chen. The Galaxy Yellow Ranger was Maya. The Galaxy Pink Ranger was Kendricks Morgan, then became Corone, and Magna Defender was Magna Defender, then became Mike Corbett. Their Zords were the Galactobeast Zord, which are the lion, the condor, the gorilla, the wolf and the wildcat, which they combined to form the Galaxy Megazord. And you have the Defender Torazord, which is composed of Torazord and Magna Defender. They did not have a mentor. Scorpius and Trakina army. Next you the Lightspeed Rangers. The red Lightspeed Ranger was Carter Grayson. The blue Lightspeed Ranger was Chad Lee. The green Lightspeed Ranger was Joel Rawlings. The yellow Lightspeed Ranger was Kelsey Winslow. The pink Lightspeed Ranger was Dana Mitchell and the Titanium Ranger was Ryan Mitchell. Their Zords were the Lightspeed Rescue Zord, which are Pyro Rescue 1, Aqua Rescue 2, Aero Rescue 3, Haz Rescue 4, Med Rescue 5 and Max Solar Zord, which they combined to form the Lightspeed Solar Zord. And then you have the Rail Rescue Zords, which are the Rail Rescue 1, Rail Rescue 2, Rail Rescue 3, Rail Rescue 4, Rail Rescue 5 which they combined to form the Super Train Megazord, and lastly you have the Omegazord which are Omegazord 1, Omegazord 2, Omegazord 3, Omegazord 4, Omegazord 5 which they combined to form the Omega Megazord with Captain William Mitchell. Their Queen Banshira Army. Next you have Time Force Rangers. Their Time Force Ranger was Alex then became Wesley Collins. The Pink Time Force Ranger was Jen Scotts. The Blue Time Force Ranger was Lucas Kendall. The Yellow Time Force was Katie Walker. The Green Time Force was Trip and the Quantum Ranger was Eric Myers. The Zords were better known as a Time Flyer and it went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and had 3 Megazord mode. There was Red, Blue and Jet, then you had the Time Shadow Megazord and lastly you have Quantosaurus Rex. They had no mentor. Their villain was Rancic. The next lot of Rangers is the Wild Force. The Red Wild Force Ranger was Cole Evans. The Yellow Wild Force Ranger was Taylor Earhart. The Blue Wild Force Ranger was Max Cooper. The Black Wild Force Ranger was Danny Delgado. The White Wild Force Ranger was Alyssa Enrile. The Lunar Wolf Ranger was Merrick Baladin. Their Megazords were Wild Force Megazord which is composed of Red Lion, Blue Shark, Black Bison, Yellow Eagle, White Tiger. The Pretazord which is composed of Wolf Hammerhead and Alligator. The Isis Megazord which is composed of Red Falcon, Giraffe, Rhino, Armadillo, Deer. Kongazord which is composed of Gorilla, Yellow Eagle, Polar Bear. Black Bison and Black Bear, and let's not forget the godlike Animus which is composed of Black Lion, Blue Condor, Saw Shark, Brown Buffalo, Yellow Jaguar with Princess Shayla as a mentor. Their villain is Master Org. The Ninja Storm Ranger are after. The Red Wind Ranger was Shane Clark. The Blue Wind Ranger was Tori Hansen. The Yellow Wind Ranger Dustin Brooks. The Crimson Thunder Ranger was Hunter Bradley. The Navy Thunder Ranger was Blake Bradley. Green Samurai Ranger was Cameron Watanabe. Their Zords are the Storm Megazord which is composed of the Hawk Zord, the Lion Zord and the Dolphin Zord. Then you have got Thunder Megazord which is composed of the Crimson Insectizord and the Navy Beetle Zord, and you also have Samurai Star Megazord with Sensei Kanoi Watanabe as a mentor. The villain is Lothor. Next, we have the Dino Thunder. The Red Dino Ranger was Connor McKnight. The Blue Dino Ranger was Ethan James. The Yellow Dino Ranger was Kira Ford. The Black Dino Ranger Tommy Oliver was the White Dino Ranger Trent Fernandez Mercer. Their Zords were the Thundersaurus Megazord which is composed of the Tyrannosaur, Tricerazord, Pterazord, the Dino Stegazord which is composed of the Dragozord, and the Stegazord, and the Mesodan Megazord with Tommy Oliver as a mentor. The villain is Mesogog. You have the Space Patrol Delta Rangers. The Red SPD Ranger was Jack Landors. The Blue SPD Ranger was Skylar, Sky, Tate. The Green SPD Ranger was Bridge Carson. The Yellow SPD Ranger was Elizabeth, Z, Delgado. The Pink SPD Ranger was Sydney, Sid, Drew. The Shadow SPD Ranger was Chief Anubis, Doggy, Kruger. The Omega SPD Ranger was Sam. Their Zords were the Delta Squad Megazord which is composed of the Delta Runner 1, Delta Runner 2, Delta Runner 3, Delta Runner 4, Delta Runner 5, and then you have the Omega Max Megazord, and lastly you have the SWAT Megazord which is composed of the SWAT Flyer 1, SWAT Flyer 2, SWAT Flyer 3, SWAT Flyer 4, SWAT Flyer 5 with Chief Anubis, Doggy, Kruger as a mentor. Their enemy was the Trubian Empire. After that you have the Mystic Force Ranger. The Red Mystic Ranger was Nick Russell. The Yellow Mystic Ranger was Charlie Thorne. The Blue Mystic Ranger was Madison Rocca. The Pink Mystic Ranger was Vita Rocca. The Green Mystic Ranger was Xander Bly. The White Mystic Ranger Udana. The Solaris Knight was Dagaron and the Wolf Warrior was Leanbow. The Their Zords were the Titan Megazord which is composed of the Mystic Phoenix, the Mystic Garuda, the Mystic Mermaid, the Mystic Sprite and the Mystic Minotaur. Also you have the Solar Streak Megazord. And lastly you have the Manticore Megazord which is composed of the Mystic Firebird and the Mystic Lion with Udana as a mentor. Their enemy was the Morlocks. Next you have the Overdrive Rangers. The Red Overdrive Ranger was Mac Hartford. The Black Overdrive was Will Aston. The Ranger Blue Overdrive Ranger was Dax Lowe. The Yellow Overdrive was Ronnie Robinson. The Ranger Pink Overdrive Ranger was Rose Ortiz and the Mercury Ranger was Tyzon. Their zords were the Drive Max Megazord, which is composed of the Dump Driver, the Speed Driver, the Euro Driver, the Dozer Driver, and the Sub Driver. Also they have the Dual Drive Megazord, which is composed of the Drill Driver, the Shovel Driver, the Cement Driver, the Crane Driver and the Sonic Streaker. There is also the Flashpoint Megazord, which is composed of Fire Truck Zord, the Rescue Runner 1 and the Rescue Runner 2, and finally you have the Battlefleet Megazord, which is composed of Battlefleet Zord 14, Battlefleet Zord 15, Battlefleet Zord 16, Battlefleet Zord 17, Battlefleet Zord 18 with Andrew Hartford as a mentor. Their enemy is Flurious, Molter, Camdor and the Fearcats. Then you've got the Jungle Fury Rangers. The red Jungle Fury Ranger was Casey Rhodes, the yellow Jungle Fury Ranger was Lily Chilman. The blue Jungle Fury Ranger was Theo Martin, the Jungle Fury Wolf Ranger was Robert James and the Jungle Fury Rhino Ranger was Dominic Hargan. Their Zords were Jungle Pride Megazord, which is composed of the Tiger Animal Spirit, the Cheetah Animal Spirit, and the Jaguar Animal Spirit. Also they have the Jungle Master Megazord, which is composed of the Gorilla Animal Spirit, the Penguin Animal Spirit, and the Antelope Animal Spirit. And lastly you have the Rhino Pride Megazord with Robert James aka RJ. Their enemy was Dai Shi, the Overlords, and the Phantom Beasts. Next is the RPM Rangers. Ranger Operator of the Red Series was Scott Truman, of the Blue Series was Flynn McAllister, of the Yellow Series was Summer Lansdowne, of the Green Series was Ziggy Grover, of the Black Series was Dylan, of the Gold Series was Jem, of the Silver Series was Gemma. Their Zords were Mach Megazord, which is composed of the Falcon Zord, the Tiger Jet and the Whale Zord. Then you have the Valve Max Megazord, which is composed of the Tail Spinner, the Wolf Cruiser and the Croc Carrier, and the High Octane Megazord, which is composed of the Eagle Racer, the Lion Hauler and the Bear Crawl with Dr. K as a mentor. Their enemy was the Venjix Computer Network. Then you have the Samurai Rangers. The red Samurai Ranger was Jaden Shiba and Lauren Shiba. The blue Samurai Ranger was Kevin. The pink Samurai Ranger was Mia Watanabe. The green Samurai Ranger was Mike. The yellow Samurai Ranger was Emily and the gold Samurai Ranger was Antonio Garcia. Their Zords were the Samurai Megazord, which is composed of the Lion Folding Zord, Dragon Folding Zord, the Turtle Folding Zord, the Bear Folding Zord and the Ape Folding Zord. Then you have Claw Battle Zord and the Bull Megazord with G as a mentor. Their enemy was the Nihilok. And lastly the Mega and Super Megaforce. The red Megaforce Super Ranger was Troy Burrows. The pink Megaforce Super was Emma Goodall. The black Megaforce Green Super Megaforce was Jake Holling. The yellow Megaforce Super was Gia Moran. The blue Megaforce Super was Noah Carver. The silver Super Megaforce was Orion. Then you have Robotic Knight called Robo Knight. Their Zords were the Gosei Great Megazord, which is composed of the Gosei Dragon Mechazord, the Gosei Phoenix Mechazord, the Gosei Snake Mechazord, the Gosei Tiger Mechazord and the Gosei Shark Mechazord. Then they had the Gosei Grand Megazord, which is composed of the Lion Mechazord, and the Knight Brothers Zords, and they had the legendary Megazord, which is composed of the Super Mega Skyship Zord, the Super Mega Jet Zord, Super Mega Wheeler Zord, the Super Mega Racer Zord and the Super Mega Sub Zord with Gosei as a mentor. Their enemy was the Warstar. When the show was over, Shayla continued to explain, 3,000 years after the last of the Rangers formed, the Jubi attacked a man called Hagoromo Otsutsuki, who you call Rikudo Sennin, fought it to protect the world. Do his noble actions Animus helped, then the Rikudo Sennin sealed it inside him, and on his deathbed he created the Biju. When the lesson was over, Naruto turns to Shayla and said with great determination, "I will hold the honor to the people that held the power before me and uphold their legacy." Then agreed to Animus teaching him all about the Wild Zords, Zen-Aku will teach him all that he knows, and lastly Rika will teach him how to use yokai. It has been 4 years since Naruto started his intensive training to uphold the legacy of the Rangers, now stood about 4.5 foot. From Zen-Aku he had learnt and mastered all of his moves and styles, and from the moves and styles from the Wild Force Rangers that he remembered, Naruto can change into Zen-Aku. From Rika he learnt and mastered everything that she could remember from his chakra, including the elemental and this foxfire, to his transformations to, and from his Han-Yu, which is about 6 inches taller with crimson color fur and has 9 tails with white tips. From Animus learnt the 3 laws of the morphing grid, can only tell people with permission, all the Zords combinations and the mechanic of the Lost Tech mechanic, real-life Morton tech. So he can repair the tech that was connected to the morphing grid. Once he was good enough, he repaired a waste communicator. It is the day before his 12th birthday and his leaves to start his 2 years wandering training. What Goku done in DB? So Princess Shayla and Animus decided to give him his presents today. Last week the both decided to ask Cammy if his clan can be the guardians of the artifacts that was connected to the morphing grid, and she said yes he can. Then that night change his DNA so only the Uzumaki can have access the morphing grid, and gave them a diary with 5 map of the nations to where the artifacts are buried and drawings of what the artifacts look like for Shayla to give him when he leaves. But what they didn't know was Cammy was going to give Naruto an ancient mystic mode. After all the festivities was over, Shayla gave Naruto the diary and said, "It's from me and Animus." When Naruto looked inside and saw the maps, he looked at his mother figure with a confused look, which she saw and said nothing. After the party came to a close, Naruto went to bed after falling asleep. He found himself in a white hall. After looking around, his gaze fell on the most beautiful woman who had long flowing silver hair that fell just above mid-back. She has what appears to be a pair of GG-sized breasts and a nice firm round ass. She was wearing an extra tight mini skirt that seemed to barely cover her ass and show it off, and there was no sign of her wearing panties either, and more in a bikini top that barely covered her ass and looked like one good stretch and it will come flying off. When she saw him, she said, "Hello Naruto, I am the goddess known as Cammy. You are here because I am going to give you a third transformations like you can do with Zen-Aku." Then she surprises him by removing the wolf org's soul from his body. When he gains an astro form, Cammy speaks to Zen-Aku. "Do you want to move on, as you have now earned your right to do just that, by taking Naruto away from the people that hate him, to the beings that hate you, to keep him safe even if you had get on you hands and knees and that you help train him?" Zen-Aku took about 5 minutes to think before asking worryingly, "What about Naruto? Will he be able to transform into me without me there?" "No, he can still change without you there," Cammy explained. Then Zen-Aku looked at Naruto and asked, "What do you want me to do, Naruto?" "Personally, I am going to be selfish, as I don't want you to go, as you and Rika were and still are my first 2 friends I made, and don't want to lose either of you. And without you I would not have a mother figure that I have, no, and for that I will be forever grateful," Naruto said with a heavy heart. Goes over to Zen-Aku a hug. "But I think you should do it, as you have been trapped for well over 9,000 years, and I believe it is time for you to move on so you can face some of the people you have wronged in the past," as a stray tear run down his face. With a sad look, Zen-Aku knew he was right. Being sealed for 90 centuries was not a great time. Then looked at Cammy and said, "I don't want to leave Naruto, but I need to face a few people of my past, so I will take the offer and thanks." And with that said, he starts to fade. "Now remember Naruto, I will always be with you in your heart." Then is completely gone to make amends. After Zen-Aku was gone, Cammy walk up to Naruto and give him a hug, as he will need a shoulder to cry on. Then the dame burst and Naruto cried on Cammy's shoulder. She then said, "Take as much time as you need, as I know you saw Zen-Aku as a brother." After about an hour of crying, Naruto finally stopped. After he calmed down, he looked at Cammy and asked in a sad tone, "What is that transformation you mentioned?" "Ah yes, almost forgot as to why you are here. I will be giving you something ancient mystic mode, only given to the noblest of mystic warriors." Then brought up 2 suits, both the exact same except the color. One was crimson and the other was purple. The suits were based on the wolf, given the wolf-like shoulder pads. Look up Leanbo. Before she spoke again, "You can pick one of these armors." Naruto spent a couple of minutes looking over the before going with the purple one, then was led somewhere to perform a ritual. Once the ritual was done, Cammy tells Naruto, "Right now you can't activate your ancient mystic mode, but you will when you find root core. Then Leanbo will teach you all he knows. Now all that is over, you need to wake up. No, so this is a see you soon, and don't be afraid of showing the people you truly love, show them." Just before he vanished, she gave him a big kiss on the lips. When Naruto woke up, he found a note from Cammy saying, "Did you enjoy the kiss?" which he went bright red, then ripped it up so that Rika doesn't find it, and then went to say bye to Shayla and Animus. After saying the byes, Shayla gave him all the animal crystals minus Animus, and telling him that his clan are now the guardians of the morphing grid and all the artifacts that is connected to it. Then went to meet up with Rika so they can leave, after promising to check in at least twice a week. "Are you ready to go, Rika?" Naruto, as he was a little excited going back to the surface for first time in 5 years. "Hell, yeah I am, let's get going," answered an over-exited Vixen. When the two of them they started to head in a random direction after about 1 hour of walking when they faintly heard a battle deciding to investigate when they got there they saw a tall man with no eyebrows and mouth covered in bandages and two girls about his age maybe a year or two older both with black hair facing two squads of mist Anbu then went to interfere. What is going on here? Naruto asked. We are here to kill Zabuza for trying to assassinate the Mizukage 2 years ago, said the leader of Squad 1. Okay. Rika said then turned to Yuzu then asked, why did you try and kill the leader of your village? I tried to kill him because he is killing people who has a Kekkei Genkei, bloodline limit, no matter who they are man, woman even children, Zabuza replied. I see now, Naruto mumbled the looked up to the Anbu then asked in a pissed off tone, and you are okay with that kill innocent people just because your cage says so? The second squad leader replied, off cause we need to eliminate all of the impure. Then 5 seconds after felt his right arm missing then looked to see Naruto a crescent sword turn into his Zen-Aku form then killed the all but one and sent him back to his cage with a message saying he will becoming so if he doesn't stop the war. After the Anbu was gone he went treat the wounded group of 3 and asked, are you two okay? My name is Naruto, points to Rika. That is Rika, what are your names? My name is Zabuza and my apprentice is Haku and her twin Yuzu. Can I ask you a question? Says Zabuza. Not going to get Zabuza talking much. We can probably guess what you will be asking, and our answer is we will help stop the war that is in your county, Rika explained. Thank you, said a grateful Haku. Once everything was okay, they started to the mist village while on the way Naruto was looking in his dairy and saw he was close to a mark and told the group, sorry ladies but there is something I need to check on. Okay, as you are helping us, we can make the detours so led the way, Yuzu said while what the boy was going to do. After sealing them away Haku asks Naruto, so what is it that we found? Sorry but it's clan business so can't you, came Naruto's reply. Hope you can tell us one day Naruto, Yuzu said. If that happens either of you two won't be walking the next day, Rika semi-joked graining two bright red faces from Haku and Yuzu. After getting out of the cave the group of 4 continued their journey to the mist took close to a month and during that time Naruto and the twins got very close and learned of their history and they are the last of their clan. When they got to the rebel base, they meet up with Maid Terumi the rebel leader to introduce Naruto and Rika too and to make a battle plan. After plan was made and to be executed later that week. Time skipped 1 week. Naruto was woken up and the sun hasn't poked up on the horizon yet then went to meet Mei when he met up. She was getting ready for the all-out battle that was going to happen in the next few hours then went to get the troops ready as by sundown they would have failed or seceded. Going to skip the cage battle. When Naruto got to the cage's office he was met with an explosion that sent him outside. When he saw the Mizukage in his tailed beast mode he transformed into his Zen-Aku form. He fought on par though he was faster dodging all the range with ease. When the cage noticed this he grabbed his sword thinking his style was better but he was wrong as he was getting cuts and slashes but was getting Naruto just not as much as he wanted. Then he went into full Biju mode which was a 3-tailed turtle. Naruto had no other choice shouted to his allies to get back. When they was out of range he pulled out 3 crystals and his dagger flute he put the crystals then said, wild zords descend, then played a tune. In the sidelines all but Rika thought he has hit his head way too many times. When Haku noticed this asked, what is he doing? All Rika said was, wait and see. When Naruto finished they heard a loud roar. They looked and saw a red lion, a green gorilla and a silver wolf. Then the fight lasted a couple more minutes with Naruto barely winning as the last attack the cage done left him with a hole in his abdomen. The last thing he saw was Rika, Haku and Yuzu running towards him before going dark. Naruto was asleep for 1 week now and in that span the twins and Rika finally came to realization they like him more than just a friend. Talked with each other and agreed to share as they know he would not admit anything if the others got hurt. Mindscape. Naruto found himself in a familiar hall looked to find Kami showing her JJ breast and a pair of skimpy panties. They have been talking and then Kami asked Naruto a question he was not expecting. Why haven't you made a move on Rika, Haku or Yuzu as I know you like them more than a friend? Because I don't want to hurt them for choosing, Naruto replied. Kami then show him the conversation that said, they have agreed to share you with all the females you will fall in live with you. Then whispers in his ear, sometime it is okay to be selfish as I have already claimed you as my lover. Then gives him another big kiss on the lips but this time added tongue before sending back. When Naruto woke up he was caught in a three-way hug then was kissed on the lips by three different people and thus they started being a couple. The twins told Naruto that they will be joining him. The Naruto promised to tell Haku and Yuzu everything from his diary to what they found in the cave last month to what he and Rika are looking for but after they leaves the village. After another week Naruto was released from the hospital then the village finally had the celebration as it wouldn't be the same if the hero wasn't there and this lasted for 3 days. The next day Naruto and his group was about to leave they met Mei and she gave him a letter and told him to give to the leader of the village that he is going to be a shinobi for. When Naruto looked at Hidari he asked Mei which why the closest X was after gaining the way the group headed out. The group had traveled all day. The sun had started to set when it started to pour. Then Haku saw a cave. When they got there all the girls undressed to their bra and panties which left Naruto a little uneasy then went to explore the cave for an hour. Yuzu came back the latest. She was carrying a chest when they opened it to find 13 coins and 7 belt buckles like devices which Naruto found to be the power coins and morphers. What is so important about those coins belt buckles? Yuzu asked. Naruto explained everything from what they found last month and today to what they are looking for. Time skip 11 month. A lot has happened in the past 11 months like finding all but one of the morphing grid artifacts and heading there now. Naruto had made a name for himself due to doing a bit of bounty hunting and gained 3 traveling companions: the legendary Tsunade, her pet pig, her Tauntaun, and her apprentice Shizune. The twins had become good med nins due to being trained by Tsunade herself. Rika had changed as now she is stronger and better than ever if the 10 wolf tails is any indication for it. Naruto is keeping a secret from her as he is the one who gave her that power even if it was indirectly and remembers it well as it was 5 months ago. Flashback. Naruto and gang had found Alpha 5 damage. Naruto plans to fix him up when he stops his journey. They had set up camp and gone to sleep when Naruto finds himself in Kami's hall again. They had another chat then Naruto asked, "Hey Val, do you mind giving Rika her powers back as I think she thinks she is dead weight?" Valkyrie replies, "No, but I will give her a new set of powers, but I am going to need to change what type of animal she into a wolf," then sends him back and gets to work. End of flashback. A couple days later the group of 7 find the last thing and find that it going to be tricky sealing it away as it is a tree with a dragon head and Naruto enters the head then finds himself in a nice room. A couple minutes later the other join him then a spirit joins them and says, "I am Linbo, which one of you is Naruto?" Naruto steps forward, "I am here to train you in the styles I know and in the mystic arts. Now then let boogie." It has been a year since Naruto started training with Linbo and was now a certified mystic knight as he has mastered the spells and his ancient mystic mode. On the last day Naruto learnt the spells to enlarge himself and he had done something Linbo thought he might not do and that was befriend Catastros. Tsunade then asked Linbo, "Why was you shocked?" Then Naruto tamed Catastros. Many have tried in vain to tame the mightiest creature of them all, but Catastros is stronger than 100 men, extremely fast, and no one was able to harness his fearsome power. Linbo replied, shocking not only her but everyone, even Naruto. When Naruto got out of shock he shouted, "Oh yeah, I am totally awesome," which got a chuckle from all the girls. The next day the group of 7 started heading back to Konoha but Tsunade realized and said, "Shit, the graduation exam is tomorrow and it is a 3-day walk 1.5 tree hopping." With no other choice Naruto then said, "Ulthe Zazare." Then a golden diagram appeared on the ground then they disappeared and reappeared with the same golden diagram a couple miles away from Konoha. "Nice trick Naru-kun," Yuzu said, feeling a little queasy, same with the rest of the group while Naruto had a fox-like grin. After feeling fine Tsunade noticed where they are, looked at Naruto and asked, "How did you do that as we are about an hour from the village?" "A spell like the Shunshin but a lot more powerful as you can travel a greater distance and though space," Naruto replies then mumbles. "Which reminds me, need to get the Quasar Sabers and the Magna Blaster. Oh, I get them after we have settled in." They started walking to Konoha. After an hour they saw the gates got in with bit of a hassle due to the 2 Chunin hate Naruto but when they saw that Tsunade was with him let him though then went to see the Hokage. When the group got to the office Naruto said, "Hey old man, did you miss me?" Then the next thing he know he was on the floor with 3 big bumps on his head then turned to 2 of his girlfriends and Tsunade and said, "What was that for?" Haku replied in a worried tone, "Do you know what he Hokage can do to you for calling him that and we don't want to lose you?" Then Tsunade said, "This is my sensei brat, I let you call me Ba-chan because I am an Uzumaki." The Hiruzen laughed and said, "It's okay as I am used to it and I didn't think he would change after 7 years now. Then how are you Naruto? Been a long time." "I am good thanks," replied Naruto, then asked, "So when do I get my inheritance, and do you know where my mother is?" Then gives the Hokage 2 letters, one from Mei and the other one is from the daimyo of the land of snow Koyuki Kazuhana, which he offered to help due to they were going in the same way. Flashback. Okay, so we agree to look for the one that is in the snow county, Naruto asks, getting a nod from his 3 girlfriends. Now just need to find a way to get there. While the group was pondering on getting there as cheap as possible, they didn't notice that someone had approached the, "Excuse me, I heard you 4 are trying to get to snow country." Yuzu says, "Yes, we are. Why do you want to know that?" "Before I tell you, I just want to know if any of you are capable fighters," asked the man. "Yes, we are. Now tell us what you want," Rika answered. "Okay, my name is Asama Sandayu," the man introduced himself. "Now I that name you're the manger and the personal assistants for Yukie Fujikaze who plays Princess Gale." Naruto interrupts exited after he calms down. He asks, "What you are doing here?" "I am here looking to hire a group of people to help protect Yukie and be in the movie we are producing." Yuki then asks, "Do you mind if we talk about this first?" "Sure," Asama answered. A couple minutes they agreed. After a long and hard journey, they managed to give the throne of snow to the rightful heir Yukie Fujikaze, who is actually Princess Koyuki Kazuhana, who gave him a letter to give to the leader of the village he joins. Then they head on the way to the spot in Naruto's dairy, which was a 2-hour walk, and promise to return after they get wet they find, which turn out to be the legendary crown known as the Corona Aurora, and met the Sentinel Knight and got him to agrees to continue to protect the crown and all the other artifacts. Then head back to the castle. Flashback end. After looking at the letters, Hiruzen said, "You can have your inheritance now, but regrettable your mother is dead." "Are you sure, as I know 2 people who tells me otherwise," replied Naruto. "Yes, I am sure, as we couldn't find her body." Before he could say anything else there was a bright light. When the light died down to revealed Valkyrie. Before anyone can speak, one Anbu with a dog mask had a kunai pressed to her throat. Then, "Who are you?" Then Valkyrie waved her hand. The Inu mask Anbu was outside the window for split second. The next you heard a thump. With another wave all the Anbu was out the door, and there was 4 new people. This 4 people were friends but got into a pretty big argument about a certain blonde boy, and they are Anko Mitarash, Kurenai Yuhi, Hana Inazuka and Yugo Izuki. "Greetings, I am Kami. But you can call me Valkyrie," greeted Valkyrie. "Nice to meet you, Valkyrie. Why are they here?" Hana points to her former friends. "They are here as I am telling you 4 are being very childish. Naruto is one of the last members of the Uzumaki clan, and to rebuild it he is going to need multiple wives," Val replied, gaining 4 apologetics looks. Then they all made, and then Naruto kissed them in the lips, and 4 joined Naruto's harem. Finally, one less headache. "So is there any other reasons you are her?" Valkyrie asked Hiruzen. "Ah yes, just came to let Naru-kun where his mother is. She is in a coma in an underground facility run by the Root Anbu you banned." Hiruzen replied. Val then uses the crystal ball to show the location. "You lot minus Tsunade and Shizune go and retrieve her, and I will wake her up, and I will let Tsunade, Shizune and Hiruzen all of Naru-kun's abilities," as he gave Tsunade and Shizune brief. It was a few hours later when the returns, all battered and bruised with some minor cuts but not worth healing, then proceed to wake up Kushina. After she was done, she went back to her home, but not before giving her beloved a big kiss. 30 minutes has gone by before Kushina came to and asked what happened, then was told what had happened in the past 14 years. She broke down crying. Naruto consulted her, saying that it wasn't her fault. Hiruzen addressed Naruto, Haku and Yuzu. "Okay, you 3 be at the academy for 8 in the morning for the exam." They nodded, then headed home, then turned to Kushina. "Now Kushina, you need all about Naruto's new abilities." Then told her every that Valkyrie had told him, and she was proud and decided if she can't be his mother that she would be his friend, then went home. The next morning Kushina went to wake up everyone up, only to find the girls with Naruto. After waking everyone up they had breakfast, then went to the academy, and Kushina went to speak to the Hokage. When they got to the academy, they headed to the room they were told to be at. When they knocked on the door, they heard "Come in." When they entered, Naruto asked the man with a scar over his nose, "Are you Uruka Amino?" Gaining a nod, he handed a note. After reading the note, Uruka addressed the class. "All right class, we have 3 students taking the exam." "What, how come they can just do that when it should be me, an elite?" shouted a black-headed boy. "Now Sasuke, they are here because the Hokage recommended them." Then Sasuke should be a ninja by now as he is the best here, shouted a pink-headed banshee. Police Naruto-kun is the best anyway. My name is Haku and this is my twin sister Yuzu and we are of the last of the Yuki clan, said Haku and a hi from Yuzu. After that Naruto introduced himself, yo name's Naruto. Okay now that you three can sit, Iruka instructed then handed out the test. Now you all have you test you all have 1 hour to complete you test 35 minutes later Iruka looked and saw Naruto Haku and Yuzu playing Old Maiden and said, what do you three think you are doing? Naruto replied with a foxy grin, we don't think we know what we are doing, and we are playing Old Maiden. You are meant to be doing a test, Iruka says with an irritated tone. But we had finished it 5 minutes ago, Yuzu said. Okay give me your test then go and wait outside, instructed Iruka. Okay class time is up Mizuki will do the taijutsu while I mark the papers, going to skip rest of the exam but will let you know that Naruto kicked Sasuke ass. Okay class time to announce the top shinobi and kunoichi are, Iruka announced, the shinobi is Naruto and we have a tie for kunoichi they're the Yuki twin. What that shinobi title should be mine as I am an elite, Sasuke protested. Yes Sasuke-kun should be on top shinobi as he must have cheated, and I should be top kunoichi, screech a pink howler monkey. Enough Naruto got the title fair and square now come back in 3 days for your team placements, announced Iruka. When Naruto got the yard hey dope I demand you fight me, Sasuke demanded. And if I don't want to, came Naruto's reply then walked away. Sasuke not liking what just happened done a set of hand-fire style great fireball jutsu, and shot it at Naruto summons his crescent blade and slashes the fireball in half then sent a very weak crescent wave at him which hits him square in the chest which lurches him though the wall and Naruto and the twins ignores the howler monkey and walks home as Naruto wants to repair Alpha 5 and circuit and find a good spot to summon root core. After Naruto gets home he sees and says to Anko, hey Anko we are home and I'm going into the garden. When Naruto after an hour Naruto finds the perfect spot to summon root core after 5 minutes root core sprouts up and when the dragon eyes started to glow. He knows it was okay to enter he went and asked his girlfriends if any of them wanted to help all 7 wanted to help but just before they left there was a knock at the door and it was an Anbu telling him that he was summoned to a council for an attack when he got there accompanied by Yuzu and Haku he brought out the dragon folding zord and sent him to get the Hokage then he had entered the hall and saw only the civilian council. Do you know why you are here Uzumaki? Sneered an overweight council member. I'm drawing a blank as to why you called me here, Naruto replied. You are here because you mercilessly attacked and stole from the last Uchiha, a pink-haired woman said. Ah that I did attack him it wasn't merciless it was self-defense as for the stealing yet again drawing a blank. He replies then looks at Haku, you were with me all day did I take anything that beside my stuff? Haku and Yuzu looked in deep in thought then shook their heads. Before anyone the door opened and the Hokage and the Shinobi Council. The Hokage asks, what is going on here? Hokage this boy attacked and steal from the Uchiha clan, said mid-age. Oh, and what did Naruto steal my clan? Makoto asked. He took a black sword that curved, the pink-haired woman replied. Oh, you mean my crescent sword? Naruto realized then summons the crescent blade. That is the sword that this brat steal give it back, the pink-haired woman. Makoto looks at Naruto and asks, Naruto do you mind if I look at that sword? Sure, came his reply and hand the blade over. This sword is not from my clan, Makoto said after looking at it. Then he needs to hand it over to Sasuke so he can use it, demanded the pink-haired woman. I can tell you that is never going to happen if you try. You will not like the outcome, Naruto said not meaning to make the Hokage sweat. Are you threatening us boy? Said the overweight council member. What do you think, Naruto before turning to the Hokage and asked. How we get the weekly meeting on the way? You're right as we are all here let's start the weekly council meeting, Hiruzen said then the meeting went on for 2 hours with Naruto participating, now on to the last item the Snow County and the Mist Village want to form an alliance with us though marriage. That is perfect let nominate Sasuke Uchiha for both marriages said the old council member. Sorry but both have already selected the bridegroom for the alliance, Hiruzen said in a fake apologetic voice. Then who did they choose to be married to, came replied Danzo. That is none of your business Danzo, the Hokage replied. Hokage, is it true that the Yuki girls have a bloodline limit? Asked a random council member, which made Naruto irritated because of the tone he had used. Yes, we do. It is the ice Kekkei Genkei, Haku said, then asks with narrowed eyes, why? How would you feel marrying someone of great importance? Asks the pink head council member. Not liking where it was going, Yuzu says, sorry, but we are not interested unless it is Naruto-kun. How about someone who is better, someone like the Sasuke? Asks the pink head council member. No way in hell, not in a million years, says Haku, then walks out as the meeting was over. It was the day after the meeting, and we find Naruto in root core with all of 7 of his girlfriends sorting out the morphers. Weapons. Naruto kept the dragon dagger and the artifacts into the order they were used. After they were done with each set, model figures of each of the Zords would appear on a platform. When all is done, Naruto summoned Alpha 5 and 6 Circuit and Robotic Interactive K9, or Rick for short, cause he will be repairing them later after lunch. So, what will you lot be doing while I'm on duty? Asked Yugo. Got to see the Hokage about the team placement in a bit, then not really sure, replied Kurenai. Got work at T&I this afternoon, answer Anko. Vet duty, Hana replied. Got something I need to do, so going to leave in a bit, then work on Rick. Oh, and what is so important that you will leave us alone? Kurenai asks. I need to head to Marinoid to pick up a few things, Naruto replied. Never heard of a village or a county called Marinoid before, Yugo said before asking, where is it? The other side of the cosmos. Why? Naruto said without care. What? Was heard all over the village by 7 different people. Do you mind if we tag along? Yuzu asks with the other girls and by Kushina, Tsunade and Shizune, who just joined them, agreeing. Sure, I don't mind making it into a day trip, but you need to see if it is okay first. And after Kurenai's meeting, Naruto says. Both Hana and Anko got the okay. Now they're heading to the Hokage office for Kurenai's meeting. Then after asked the Hokage if they could borrow Yugo. When Asuma saw Kurenai, he tried to get her to be his girlfriend again. After 3 times of him cheating, she was resistant getting back, and it was beginning to get annoying. Fuck off, Naruto said. Can't you see she doesn't want to be with you after what you did to her the last 3 times? Stay out of this, Pip speak. Can't you see the grown-up are having a conversation? Asuma sneered, not liking being told what to do by a 14-year-old. There's another grown, where is he or she? Naruto joked, burning Asuma. Alright, now everyone is here, let's get the team meeting underway, shall we? Here is an interrupted before Naruto hurt his son due to him being in the bingo book with the huge reward, with a few comments like flee for your life. Pry, he is not you, he is coming after, and his favorite one, don't be stupid, and Naruto leaves, he doesn't belong there. After the meeting they got permission to go to Marinoy. Then before anyone could say anything, Naruto said, Ulthe Zazare. The everyone found included the Hokage found themselves in a deep jungle. Can you warn us next time you do that? Rika shouted. Where are we, my boy? Here is an, asks Naruto. Marinoy, was all Naruto replied. Stay close, don't know what trouble there is now. Where are they? Naruto said while looking around. When there was earthquakes, but they seemed as there was a rhythm to the like they were footstep. Then the of world group saw a giant yellow wolf. Everyone but Naruto was amazed. Then they felt a gust of wind come from behind them. They turned around and see a red lion, then started to walk away with Naruto following as it seemed it wanted to be followed, and the giant lion took the group to the quasar sabers and the trans daggers, also the magna blaster. What are they? Hana asked Naruto. They are too big to be a summons. You are half right, they are not your normal summon, they belong to the morphing grid and they are called the Galactabeast, Naruto replied. And you have a lion, a wolf, a gorilla, a wildcat, a condor, a rhino, a phoenix, a shark, and a taureau. I know the taureau is not a Galactabeast, but my fanfic, my rules. Then Naruto sealed the blaster sabers and daggers, then turned to the group and asked if they wanted to explore. They said yes and explored for a couple of hours, then went back home. After securing the sabers, trans daggers and magna blaster in root core, they went to bed. The next day not much happened apart from Naruto fixing Rick and Circuit. It was the day of the team placements. Naruto, Haku and Yuzu just in time. Iruka was reading the team placement. Is as canon. However, there will be 2 additional members for Team 7 and they are Haku and Yuzu. Yuki with Anko as a secondary sensei. Now wait here for your sensei. It has been 3 hours since Asuma and Kurenai picked up their students and Team 7 are waiting for Kakashi as Anko couldn't pick them up as he is the secondary and Kakashi being primary, and Naruto was working on Circuit as he was much more portable with Haku and Yuzu help. Sasuke walked up and said, "Hey dope, what are you doing?" "I is doing something," replied Naruto, still concentrated on circuit, and managed to get him up and running. "Hey, tell Sasuke-kun what you are doing now," screeched the pink-haired banshee. "Okay, we'll talk, just so you know I am not telling just cause you say. So I am doing it because I don't want to lose my girlfriend's hearing," Naruto said with his pinky finger in his ear, but the door opened before he explained to revealed a silver-haired man with his headband over his right eye, then said meet me on the roof, then disappeared via shunshin. Naruto then sealed circuit, then said, "Ulthe Zazare," to take him and both girls to the roof, only to see both senseis already there. 5 minutes later Sasuke and Sakura came through the door. "Okay, now that we are all here, let's introduce ourselves, like our name, like dislike, and our goals for later in life," said the silver-haired man. "Why don't you show us how it is done?" Sakura asked. "My name is Kakashi. My likes you are too young to know, don't have many dislikes, and can't think if I have a goal," Kakashi said. Now it is Anko's turn. "My name is Anko, my like are my friends, my boyfriend Dango, and my job at T&I. My dislikes are perverts except for one boy and rapist. My goal is to kill my former sensei," Anko says. "Okay, now you Pinky," Kakashi instructed. "My name is Sakura. I like," looks at Sasuke and squalled, "my dislike are Ino pig and Naruto baka. My dream is," looks at Sasuke with a far of look. Sakura says. "Okay, now you broody," Kakashi said. "My name is Sasuke. I have a few likes, even fewer dislikes. My goal, no, my ambition is to kill someone," Sasuke said. "Blondie, now you," Kakashi said. "My name is Naruto. My likes are my girlfriends, my summons. My dislikes are arrogant people, and my goal is not sure," Naruto replied. "My name is Haku. My likes are my sisters, my boyfriend. My dislikes are perverts except for one boy. My goal is to be a med enin," Haku said. "My name is Yuzu Haku. My likes are my sisters, my boyfriend. My dislikes are perverts except for one boy. My goal is to be a med enin," Yuzu says. "Okay, now meet us at training ground 7 at 7 tomorrow morning for the real test," Kakashi told the team. "What, I thought we were genin," Sakura said. Haku looked to Sakura and said, "Are you stupid? That test was to weed out the wannabes ninjas from the true ninjas." "Then the blonde should not be here then," Sasuke said. "If I shouldn't be here, then you don't deserve to be here," Naruto retorted. "Enough, oh, and I suggest you don't eat anything because you will just throw it up," Kakashi told the team. When Naruto got home, he went to root core to finish fixing circuit. 10 minutes the mechanical owl started to twitch, the eyes opened and said a little worried, "Where am I?" Naruto then walked around to talk to the owl. "Hello, my name is Naruto, it is nice to meet you," Naruto greeted. "Hello Naruto, I am Circuit, do you mind telling me what is going on here?" Circuit asked. "You are in a village called Konoha and you have been shut down, give or take 5,000 years, Naruto explained. "Oh, okay, thanks for letting me know," Circuit said with what appeared to be a sad tone. "Hey, are you okay?" Naruto asked. "Yeah, just a lot to take in that the group that I was a part of is dead now," replied Mechanical Owl. An hour has gone past since Circuit was brought back online and Naruto had brought it all systems, and now Circuit was at 100%, and now Naruto was working on Alpha 5 with a now happy Circuit as he now has a place he can call home. The next morning Naruto, Haku and Yuzu woke up at 6:30, had breakfast, and went to the training ground at 8:30. It took them half an hour to get to TG7. "You three are late, Kakashi-sensei told us to be here for 7 inches," Sakura screeched. "No, we are early as Prime-sensei is not yet," Yuzu counted. It took another hour before Kakashi showed up and said, "Okay, now you lot, you are to get one of these bells," holding 4 bells. "And you pass, and there is a reason why there is 2 less, that the 2 who hasn't get one will be tied up to one of the poles and will be forced to watch the rest eat lunch. Oh, you have until lunchtime to get one and come at M with the intent to kill," Kakashi explained, "and start." Almost instantly Sasuke and Sakura disappeared into the wood, leaving Naruto and his 2 girlfriends alone, as they have already knew that this was a diversion. The real test was teamwork, and Naruto brought out a deck of cards and said, "You want to join in, Anko?" When Kakashi saw them still there playing cards with Anko, he asked, "Why aren't you hiding like the other 2? "Because we are not as stupid as those 2, Haku said. "Yeah, we know that your test is a diversion, the real test is teamwork," Yuzu explained. "Also, Naruto can fight and kill you if he does what you told us to do." "Sure, he can," Kakashi said, a bit skeptical. "Well, he can go toe-to-toe with S-ranked shinobi and kunoichi when he was a bounty hunter," said Haku. Still a bit skeptical, Kakashi asked, "He was a bounty hunter?" Yuzu then replied, "Yes, Haku and Rika had been with him from the start. He also done a couple of security jobs. Don't believe his face, the two morons. The Naruto will face you." With that said, the skeptical Kakashi wanted to see if they were telling the truth, so he went to see how good the other two were so he can copy the blonde move and give to Sasuke. This part is canon. 90 minutes had gone by when Kakashi showed up and he put the bells in his leg pouch so that Naruto can not get them, and saw Naruto working on something and talking to it with a blue owl, and the girls was still playing cards. As he got closer, he heard Naruto said, "So how are your systems, Alpha?" "They are good, thanks, Naruto," said the thing. "Hey Naruto, can we see the leader? I want to ask him something." Naruto replied, "Sure Alpha, but we are in the middle of a test, so we can go after. So either you or Circuit remind me, okay?" And Alpha and Circuit replied, "Okay, sure." Naruto then noticed Kakashi and asks, "How long have you been there?" Kakashi replied, "A couple of minutes." "So ready for an ass whopping of your life," Naruto said with confidence. Kakashi went through a series of hand seal, then said, "Fire style fireball jutsu." Naruto summoned his crescent blade, then said, "Crescent blade, crescent wave," vertical cutting through the fireball, then said, "Is that the best you got?" "Not even close," Kakashi replied, then thought, "If I can't beat him, maybe he can burn his air." Went through another set of hand signs, then said, "Earth style earth dome," and a dome made of earth formed around Naruto. Thinking Naruto was trapped, Kakashi smirked, which quickly vanished when Naruto just walked through the wall as if it wasn't even there, then throw a smoke bomb at Kakashi, who thought his was a normal bomb and dodged it. When the area was covered with smoke, Naruto used his psychometry power to sense where Kakashi was. They used his super speed and quickly got the bells without Kakashi knowing. After that was over, he gave Kakashi a powerful kick in the stomach and sent him through a couple of trees. After the test was over, we find Sasuke and Sakura was tied up on the wooden poles. "Why is my Sasuke-kun tied up when he has one of the bells, Kakashi?" Sakura shouted. "Shut up, you stupid monkey," Naruto said in an annoyed tone. "You failed to get the bell," Kakashi said, but was cut off when he heard the bell chime and saw Naruto with all three bells. "When and how did you get them? You must have cheated." Naruto replied, "I did not cheat, I got them when I throw the smoke bomb. As for how, that is a secret that I do not plan to share." Sasuke was annoyed that he blonde had out him in the test yesterday. Now he was pissed, and he know that as long as his mother was still around, he will now be able to get Naruto to give him his power, and he wanted the Yuki bloodline to make the next Uchiha Gen even more powerful. Sakura was angry at the twins as they seemed to be getting more of Sasuke attention. Kakashi was annoyed that he couldn't get any of the blonde's techniques, then in a fake tone said, "Who will you give the over 2 bells to?" Naruto. "Simple, give 2 to the 2 morons that are tied up, then give the last one back to you, as this test was all about teamwork. Haku and Yuzu are an excellent team already," came Naruto's answer. "And if Naruto doesn't pass, then me and Haku don't pass, as we always stick together, and Naruto know that is why he gave the last bell back," Yuzu said. "Okay, you pass, you 5 are now team 7 inches," Anko said before Kakashi could say anything. It has been 3 months since Team 7 had been formed, and there has been some hectic moments. We find our blonde hero with his team to get a new mission since they had captured the proclaimed devil cat Tora, who was being carried by Naruto, purring. When they got there, they met with the daimyo's wife and took the poor cat into a bone-crushing hug. "You are getting what you deserve, you little devil," Sasuke and Sakura both thought. The poor cat, Naruto, Haku and Yuzu all thought, and Naruto walked up to the woman and said, "Excuse me ma'am, but I do believe I know why Tora keeps running away," which got a scoff from Kakashi and Sasuke. "No, you don't, you loser," Sakura said. The daimyo's wife could not believe what she just heard. They said, "Why don't you show me?" "With pleasure, so I can shut the banshee up," Naruto said, then took Tora and laid him gently on this arm, then stroked him gently, which got a purr from the cat. Turned his attention back the daimyo's wife and said, "You see, no need to crush him to show you love him, just lay him on your arm and stroke him gently and play with him, now you try," and handed Tora back to its owner, who done what Naruto suggested and got the affection that she longed for. "How did you do that?" the owner asked, amazed that the blonde solved the problem she had for a couple years in a couple of minutes. "Let's just say that I know animals," came Naruto's reply, not wanting to tell anyone about the animal-type zords. Then the daimyo's wife turned to the Hokage and said, "I would like to give the boy an extra payment." then hands the Hokage 100,000 ryo to give to the boy and also said, if I ever get a new pet I will want him to be the trainer, and why is he on a team that his sensei and teammates try and put him down? Don't worry ma'am, Naruto said. Okay, but I still want you to be the animal trainer, said daimyo's wife, then walk out to meet with her husband. Hiruzen then turned to Kakashi and asked, what mission do you want to do? No, you have walking the Inuzuka's dogs, painting a fence, or you have pulling up. Sasuke interrupted, no more of these chores work, I demand a proper mission. Kakashi took that moment to say, before you say anything, I do believe that my team is ready for a mission out of Konoha. It's okay Gigi, give the baby his bottle, Mihaku and Yuzu will be there if thing goes south, said Naruto, which got a death glare from Sasuke and a screech from Sakura. Okay, bring in the explorer and here is the details, Hiruzen said as he gave Kakashi the scroll with the details, which turned out to be Nico Robin. Oh my god, it's Nico Robin, the world-famous explorer and linguistics. I am a fan, can I please have an autograph? Naruto said, excited. Sure, you can cutie, Robin said and signed his book. Okay team, pack enough for 2 weeks and we leave at 8 tomorrow morning at the East Gate, so home and pack, Kakashi instructed, who all left. When Naruto got to the door he used his invisibility ability to get away from the team so he can tell the Hokage something, and when the cost was clear he reviled himself by saying, Gigi, causing the old man to jump, which followed where the voice was coming from and saw Naruto, who said, sorry Gigi, but I need you to do something for me and it is the main reason why I want to go out of the village, and that is when we leave tomorrow, go to my home and you will know why. Okay my boy, I trust you, replied the old man, and with that all done Naruto left and Hiruzen looked at who was on the East Gate in the morning, then sent a message to let him know when Team 7 leave the village. When Naruto got home he started to pack. A couple of hours later Kushina called for dinner, and after dinner Naruto, Haku and Yuzu went to bed. The next morning Naruto and his girlfriends left to meet the rest of the team at the East Gate. Just as Kakashi got there, when they left, one of the guards left to inform the Hokage that Team 7 had just left. When Hiruzen got to the Uzumaki house he was meted with Kushina, who asked, why are you here Hokage-sama? Hiruzen then replied, I came because Naruto said that I needed to know something, but he never said what. After hearing that Kushina then mumbled, does he mean that? Then invites him in and they head to the living room, and Kushina then said, why don't you sit down, and I will got wet my boy might have meant, then left the room. When she come back, she had someone behind her and Hiruzen thought he had seen a ghost, then asked, how are you alive Makoto? I am alive because of Naruto, which I don't know how he did it, but I am grateful, she replied, then said, I don't know why I was killed, but my guess is that Naruto did it for some reason but will not tell me. Then a voice came out of nowhere and said, he did it to protect the secret artifact that come with the power he has, because with you gone your son can lie about the weapons that comes from that power, and he done it to keep your friends from crying. So why are you here Val? Rika asked. I came to add to the things that I had given to my beloved, Val replied. And what is it this time? Cause last time you gave him the power that came from the Dino Gems, also gave him the powers that the SPD and the Overdrive Rangers, and the time before that you let the Masters of the Wind Ninja School and the Pai Zhuk, or the Order of the Claw, which happens to be a secretive kung fu clan, Rika said as she listed the thing that Val had given Naruto. Oh, just someone that can help him in the morphing part, and for that I need your permission from you Hiruzen, Val replied. And what would that be might I ask? Hiruzen asked. Oh, not much, but a secret underground training and command center, the goddess replied. Overdrive Command Center. And where are you going to put it? Hiruzen asked. Under this house with a secret passageway, came the reply. I don't see why not, but, on the condition, you put one of the passageways near the Hokage's office, Hiruzen said. Then the goddess said, consider it done. And with a snap of her fingers everything was done. How Overdrive was. Then Val lead Rika, Kushina, Tsunade, Shizune and Makoto to the command center, where there was a big tube in the center that there was a face in it. Then it said, greeting, I am Zordon of Elter. And the 5 people introduced themselves. Now Zordon, we have a deal, right? Val said. Yes, we do. Please bring Alpha 5 here so we can start work on a Master Morpher, Zordon replies, and Val snaps her fingers again and the android appears, and after a bit of a catch-up the two starts to work. Now I must leave, Val said. Wait, before you go, why are you giving Naruto all this? Kushina asked. Because 1, he is my beloved, and 2, He is the decedent from some of the Rangers that had ever lived, and that is Tommy Oliver and Kimberly Ann Hart, then who was the very first couple that came out of the Ranger family. Then you have Wes Collins and Jen Scott and a few others. That is all part of your side of the family tree. Kushina, Val replied, then disappeared. Meanwhile with our hero, they have been on the road for half a day when Sakura asks the Robin, so where are we going? To a new land that just appeared, the Robin replied. Oh great, a new discovery mission, Sasuke said in a bored tone. Oh, but that is not the weird part, this island just appeared where it is now, the Robin said, gaining the attention of the entire team. It has a week since the team had started the mission when they finally got to the island. Ah, we have finally arrived, the Robin said in an exited tone. You have got to be kidding me, Naruto mumbled, because the island looked all too familiar. Which only Yuzu heard, then asked. What is the matter, Naru-kun? Which gained the attention of her twin. I know this island, was all Naruto said, and the two girls know that this island was Animarium. So, we finally see the infamous Animarium that was your home before you meet us, right? Haku whispered. Yes, that is if the Guardian lets you on the island, but should be fine as I can vouch for you, Naruto whispered back just as the team got in a boat. After an hour the boat made it to the island, and everyone was about to set up camp when Shayla showed up and looked at the group of 8 and saw Naruto was about to go and hug him when he shook his head as if to say don't do it, then said, Who are you and why are you here? My name is Nico Robin and we are here to explore this mysterious island that just showed up out of nowhere, Robin explained. Okay, but you can explore and examine but no taking anything off the island, Shayla said when she noticed Naruto and the twins are nowhere to be seen. Thank you, we will be here for a week, Robin said. Okay, but I mean what I said before about looking and touching but no keeping anything that you find on this island, said the princess. And who are you to tell us what to do? Sasuke demanded. The owner of the island, and you may call me Princess Shayla, Shayla said, then walked off to meet up with Naruto at the shrine. So Naruto, this is Animarium, sure you know all of the secret places, Haku said. Naruto looked at the twins with a smirk and said, if I am going to show you any of those places you will be leaving it with a limp and a sour throat, making the twins blush so red that it reminded him of Kushina's hair. Then they got to shrine where there was a boy that looked about 10 years of age. The boy saw Naruto and said, long time no see, Naruto, how have you been? Hey, Kite, I have been good, got some stories to tell and a few people for you to introduce to you and mother, Naruto replied, then waited for the princess to arrive. They waited for a couple of waiting when Shayla turned up and the first thing she did was give Naruto a big hug. Then Naruto said, we need to get back. But I will sneak and come here tonight and we will catch up then. Later that night Naruto went to meet with his mother, but what he didn't know was that he was being followed. When he met with his mother and an hour of catching up and finding out that the Galactabeast moved here after Naruto got the Quasar Sabers from Marinoi, then he heard a noise thanks to his super hearing. Naruto then uses his super speed to catch up the spy, then uses his super strength to throw the spy to the area where he was, then finds it is Nico, then said, what are you doing here, Robin? I came to see why you and the twins went missing earlier, and I also heard what you and the twins talking just before we got onto the boat, Nico said. Okay, I grow up on this island and this island is called Animarium and it has been around long before the shinobi era, and that is all you will be getting out of me or my mother, as there is a secret that this island contains that must not leave, and it is my duty as an Animarium guardian to protect it, Naruto said. So why are you telling me that this island has a secret? I just might try and find it now, Robin said. Naruto is a great judge of character. If he is telling you that, then he knows that you will not tell anyone about it, Princess Shayla explained. Okay, how about we make a deal then, Naruto, Robin said. What type of deal? Naruto said, a little intrigued. You tell me all about Animarium and I will tell no one about it and say it is a cursed place, and we know majority of people will believe me, said Robin, as she wanted to know more of the island that was around before the shinobi era. What do you think, mother? Naruto said. I think we can trust her here and it will be safer for the people who might come if she does not, as they will throw anyone of the island who does not have the power you have. They buy the zords, Princess Shayla explained. So Naruto thought for a few minutes, then said, okay, have a deal, we meet here every day an hour after sunset, how does that sound? That sound great. So is there any place we should not go to? Nico asked. After half an hour of telling the female explorer where not to go, they went back to camp ready to fool the 3 people who cannot be trusted, as Naruto will tell his 3 girlfriends about the deal, and if they want, they can join them in the history lessons. As the week came to an end, Robin, Anko, and the twins had learned all about the past and all about the Zords, also had met some of them and was told about the godlike Wild Zord team and 5 people gaining a headache daily from Emo and a Banshee. Robin, who had fallen in love with Naruto over the week and had told him too, whom his 3 girlfriends had noticed the looks she was giving Naruto and persuaded her to tell him, and at first she was refused to do, but after they said the 3 of them was dating him, she told him and thus joined his harem and said she will stop doing her job and work at Konoha. A few days after later, Naruto saw something shining coming towards them, then he faintly heard his name as it got closer. He saw it was Circuit carrying a package and a letter. He gave the letter to Kakashi, then looked at the package, saw it had a note, then read it, then sealed it away. "Okay team, we need to go and help Team 8 Inches," Kakashi said after he finished reading the letter. Naruto then asked Circuit, "Can you give the old man this letter?" They presented the letter. "Shorkin," Circuit replied, and Naruto gave the letter to Circuit, who then flew off back to the village. Sensei, where is Team 8 Inches?" Sakura asked Kakashi. "The team is in Wave Country," his reply. "Okay, good plan, dipshit, but that is a few days away," Anko said as she was worried about her friend. "Well then we better start moving then," Kakashi said as he made plans to kill Naruto on this mission. "How about get there a much faster way?" Naruto said, catching everyone by surprise. Anko and the twins know that Naruto has the power and is knowable in some of the old ways and know that he always keeps something hidden. "You're such a baka, how can we get there then a few days?" Sakura yelled as she believed that he was trying to outdo her lovely Sasuke. "Simple like this," was all Naruto said while channeling chakra into a seal. Then there was a yellow jeep with lightspeed on the bonnet and a symbol. "Can't describe it, but it is the lightspeed symbol." Then Naruto took into the driver's seat and started it up, then turns to everyone and asked, "Are you getting in?" "And what is this then?" Sakura asked as Anko, the twins, and Robin got in. "This is called a jeep, a much faster form of transport," came Naruto reply. After that the rest of the team reluctantly get in it. Once everyone was secured, Naruto puts the jeep into gear, then puts his feet on the brakes and the gas, cursing the tires to go into a smoky spin, then releases the brakes to speed up towards waves. The trip took a few hours. When the jeep came to the beach, Naruto and the team got out and Naruto sealed the jeep back up and was about to continue on foot when Sasuke got in front of him and demanded, "I demand you give me whatever that thing was." "I don't think so, after all you have no idea how to operate it," Naruto replied before walking off to look for a boat. A few hours later the team came to a house and knocked, and a woman in her mid-20s answered it. When she saw the group of 8, she asked them in a timid tone, "Who are you?" Kakashi, being the team leader, stepped forward and said, "We are the backup team of the team that came with a man called Tazuna." After hearing that, the lady relaxed. "Oh, then come on in, the man is my father, my name is Tsunami," and the team went inside and met with Team 8. "Okay Team 8, can you give me what happened?" Anko instructed. Shino told them about what had happened, and there is a group of weird cats-like creatures, then used his bugs to picture them and told them that Kurenai got hurt protecting the team and the client. After the debriefing, Naruto went to see if Kurenai was alright and had a little catch-up. That night when everyone was asleep, Naruto went outside and looked at the parcel, then opened it to find it looked like the original morphers back at Root Core, then saw a note saying come to the command center, then had how to do it as the wrist communicator can do it, then in a beam of light, how the mighty Morphin got to and from the command center. He was up to wherever this command center was. When he landed on his ass. "Shit, why did that had to happen?" he mumbled to himself. Unbeknown to him, behind him was Zordon. "Greetings Naruto Uzumaki," Zordon said, making Naruto jump. "Okay, a giant head knows my name and it is even bigger, the Iruka's big head jutsu," Naruto mumbled. "I am Zordon and I was an interdimensional being and I know all about you, Naruto," Zordon said. "Sweet, I finally meet the legendary Zordon," Naruto shouted in excitement before he realized something. "Wait, you were meant to be dead as Andros shattered our tube to stop the United Alliance of Evil, so how are you here?" "I am here to because 1. You need a mentor, 2. Kami made a deal with me, I be the mentor to the ranger that might come in the future, and also the Uzumaki clan," Zordon replied. "So, what is this morpher anyway, as it is different to the other original morphers?" Naruto asked Zordon, holding up his morpher. "Ah, that is the master morpher that was commissioned for you by Kami, and you don't need to worry about the powers you got from Zen-Aku, as you can still access them," replied Zordon. "Okay, so what does it do?" Naruto asked, wanting to protect the people he loves and cares for. Well, for starters, it lets you morph into any leader ranger that had a wrist morpher or a power coin in any battleizer mode they might have had. And you can control the Zords to form the Megazord, Zordon explained. So, do you mind telling me what I can morph into and how to do it? Naruto asked. Certainly, Naruto. You can go for the green and white mighty morphin powers, which you say Dragon Zord or Tiger Zord, and the white Ninja D power by saying Ninja D Falcon. You can form the Ninja Falcon Megazord and the Shogun Megazord, but after them the rest are the Red Rangers, Zordon said before continuing. The Red Zeo Ranger is Zeo Ranger 5 Red. You can form the Zeo Megazord and the Super Zeo Megazord. For the Red Turbo Ranger is Red Lighting Turbo Power. You can form the Turbo Megazord and the Rescue Megazord. For the Red Space Ranger is Let's Rocket. You can form the Astro Megazord, the Delta Megazord and the Mega Voyager Megazord. You have access to the Space Battleized Armor. You push the number 3 then say Red Battleized Ranger. For the Red Galaxy Ranger it is Go Galactic. You can form the Galaxy Megazord and you can access the Red Armored Ranger mode. You have the 2/2 of a Galactic key then say Red Armored Power Ranger. For the Red Lightspeed Ranger it is Lightspeed Rescue. You can form the Lightspeed Megazord, the Super Train Megazord and the Omega Megazord. You have access to the Trans Armor Cycle mode. You need the cycle and say Trans Armor Cycle, Armor Mode Complete Transformation. For the Red Time Force Ranger it is time for Time Force. You can form the Time Force Megazord both red and blue mode and you can access the Battle Warrior armor by saying Red Battle Warrior. For the Red Quantum Ranger it is Quantum Power. You can summon the Quantosaurus Rex which has a battle mode. You have access to the Quantum Mega Battle armor. You say Mega Battle Activate Battle Ready. You can't access the Wild Force for 2 reasons. One is their morphers was phones morphers not wrist morphers, and 2 you can access them due to the Zen-Aku's powers. For the Red Ninja Storm U Ninja Storm Ranger Storm U and form the Storm Megazord and Intron that can form 2 others. They are the Thunderstorm Megazord with the help of 2 Power Spheres that forms Minizord and the Hurricane Megazord with the help of 3 Power Spheres that forms the Ninja Firebird. You have access the Tri-Battleized Armor. This one is going to be bit tricky to access as you need a car minion's power to do so. For the Red Dino Ranger you say Dino Thunder Power Up. You can form the Thundersaurus Megazord and the Mazodon Rover and all its modes, but you need the Shield of Triumph to access, which has you can access Triassic Battleizer mode to access. You say Battleizer Energize, and that is it for the Master, as the rest of the Ranger teams had some kind of handheld device or something like that. Cool. I don't mean to sound mean, but I need to go back so my team doesn't find out I am gone, so I am going to go now, Naruto said in walking off before he realized something. So he turned back to Zordon and asked, "Hey Zordon, do you know any weird cats-like creatures?" "Unfortunately, there are a few alien races that look cat-like," Zordon said. "But there is a way to find out." Alpha begin the scan. This will take a few seconds, Naruto," Alpha said as he scanned Naruto. After the scan was done, Zordon then said, "You're facing the Fear Cats, Naruto." "Okay, thanks Zordon," Naruto said. They teleported back to Waves and went to sleep. The next morning both teams was out. Team 7 was training while 8 was on guard duty. "Okay Genin, you will be training and by doing that you will be tree walking and you will not use your hands," Kakashi said. How can we that sensei?" Sakura asked. Before Kakashi could say anything, Yuzu said, "Like this," before Haku and Naruto went up to a tree then walked up it, leaving a fuming Uchiha and an annoyed Scarecrow as he didn't teach them a thing yet. "And how do you 3 know the tree walking exercise?" Kakashi demanded. "Well, in order to know that you need to know that we trained with someone that outranks you," Haku replied, which infuriated Kakashi and the so-called Uchiha elite. "Are you making fun of me?" Kakashi demanded. "No, but Naru-kun can do an excellent job at doing that," Yuzu said. "And where did that loser go anyway?" Sakura said. "Maybe he couldn't stand being in the presence of an elite," said the so-called elite. Then out of nowhere you heard Naruto say, "And where is this so-called elite? And for your information, I need to do something that requires real training to master before the week is done, as I do not want to die at the hands of the Fear Cats." "And what are the Fear Cats?" Sakura asked with a scared tone. "The weird cats-like creatures," Naruto replied. The rest of the week passed without much incident excepted Naruto got into an argument with Inari. Now both teams was at the bridge minus Naruto, as he was back at the house sleeping, as he has mastered the morphine, but he has been working himself ragged to master all the battleizer, but has mastered only a few of them like the Time Force, the Quantum and the Dino Storm. He woke up when he heard a scream. He went to the window and saw 2 bandits holding Tsunami. So, do we have a bit of fun before we meet up with Gato, said Bandit 1. That is a great idea. After Gato never said to go back right after we got her, all he said was to bring her to him, said the second bandit. You will not be doing any of that, Inari shouted as he ran out with a broom. You have got some spunk, kid, but that is not enough, said the second bandit as he walked up to Inari with a menacing look. No, run Inari and don't look back, shouted Tsunami, but it was too late as the bandit was able to reach him when suddenly Naruto came through the wall and used his strength to punch the bandit away and went through several trees. Naruto then turned to face the other bandit and said, leave now or face the consequences. Yeah, you don't scare me, and I have a mission to complete, so I will be with the woman now, came the bandit's reply, but he didn't get far as Naruto used his speed to give him a punch that knocked him out. Once Tsunami calmed down, she ran to her son and gave him a hug, then says, I am so proud of you for what you did, Inari. She then turns to Naruto before continuing, thank you so much, Naruto, because of you I still have my son. Think nothing, after all that's is what heroes do. It doesn't matter if they can do the impossible or not, as long as they protect and never look or escalate a fight. They will always be heroes. Well, that is what I was taught, Naruto said. Now let's go to the bridge, as he walks of Naruto then remembers the broom, then turns to Tsunami and asks, mind if I borrow that broom? Tsunami looks at Naruto confused and asks, why do you want to borrow the broom for? So, I can get to the bridge faster, Naruto replies. Sure, Tsunami said, even more confused. Thanks, Naruto said as he picks up the broom, then he throws it and says, Galwit Misto Erotin. And to the surprise of Tsunami and Inari, it transformed. Naruto then turned to Tsunami and Inari and says, this is a mystic racer. Then gets on it and the back bit starts to turn, then speeds. When Naruto got to the bridge, he saw Haku and Yuzu protecting their hurt teammates, Agents 1 Fearcat, while Team 8 wasn't faring better and the Fearcat was avoiding Akamaru. The senseis wasn't faring much better either, as they was facing 2 Fearcats. The Fearcat that was facing Team 8 was about finish them off, so Naruto used this speed to get to the team, then used force field projection to save the team, then turns to Kiba, who was barely conscious, and said, hey mate, how about you get some rest? Then Kiba passes out. Then Naruto turned to the Fearcat and says, hope you want a challenge because I am about to give you one. The Fearcat replies, the other boy more or less said the same thing, but what a disappointment, let's see if you fare any better. Naruto then said, oh, I can guarantee that I will. Then brought out his master morpher, the said Time for Time Force. The power coin materialized with the red visor shape on it, then morphed into the red Time Force Ranger, then brought out the Chrono Sabers. They slashed at each other. Then when Naruto said, Time Strike, he jumped with his right arm done a circle and a clock appeared that placed his left arm at 3 and his right at 12. Then he made a cross which took out the Fearcat. He looked at his team and saw all the member was out cold, brought out his vortex blaster to take out the Fearcat, then went to help the senseis who was on their last legs. When the Fearcats attacked at the same time, he jumped in front of the attack and took some major damage, then said, Red Battle Warrior. Then he put his right hand in the air and then flames started come out of it. The flames surrounded him, and when the flames went out he was in some kind of armor with a flame pattern. He then brought out his battle fire saber and slashed both Fearcats and took one of them out. The other one managed to survive. All of a sudden there was a clapping sound. Everyone looked to see who it was and saw it was Gato. Gato didn't look impressed and said, so this is what the great Fearcats was, a bunch of weak scaredy cats. Hey, we didn't anticipate there belong a Power Ranger here, and they are a pain in the ass to get rid of, and besides I still have one more trick up my sleeve, replied the Fearcat, who then began to get bigger until it was huge. How do you like me now? Naruto knew what he needed to do, so he brought the Chrono Morpher up and said, Zordon, I think I need the Time Flyers. They're on the way, Zordon replied. Then all of a sudden there was a tear in the sky, then 5 things come out of it. Then Naruto jumped onto one of them, said, Time Force Megazord Mode Red. Then all 5 flyers done their thing and come together. Now Naruto was standing in the cockpit holding what looked like a sword handle. He said, deploy Saber. He moved it to get the feel of it, then got the Megazord. He said, Time Force Megazord Saber. Then the handle he was holding became a mini saber of the Megazords and he pulls it out of the stump, then said engage, and 2 sabers went to the 3 and 9 precision and the Megazord went for the Fearcat and slashed it in the torso. The 2 little saber was going to the original position, and when it was done the Fearcat exploded. The time flyers went home. When Naruto got on the ground he demorphed and collapsed. Gato and the senseis saw this and Gato sent his mercenaries to kill the blonde, and Anko and Kurenai rushed to save the boy, but they know they will not make it, and Kakashi was pleased for he did not have to get his hand dirty. But suddenly Naruto started to glow 3 colors: green, black and blue. Then the 3 colors formed orbs, then the orbs formed bodies, and the helmets had a pattern which reminded everyone of an animal. The green one looked like an elephant and it had a mace, the black one looked like a bat and had a fan, the last one looked like a shark and had a pair of sabers, and they protected the boy from the bandits and was about to attack Kurenai and Anko when Anko said, "Wait, we are not going to hurt Naruto, we need to check if he is alright," which made the Spirit Ranger relax to let the kunoichi pass, but kept alert in case they attacked, but true to their word and checked to make sure the boy wasn't in a critical condition. The shark went and grabbed Gato so he couldn't do anything. Then the entire village showed. Then the shark threw Gato to the village who killed him. It has been a week since Gato was killed, and in that time Naruto has just barely recovered when both teams was ready to leave. "So, will you come back and visit?" Inari asked Naruto, who was leaning on Haku as he not got all his strength. "Sure, I will," Naruto replied, and with that said everyone including Robin left waves. "So, what are we going to call this bridge?" Tazuna asked. "How about we name it after the boy who gave us hope?" Tsunami said, "the Great Naruto Bridge." "I like the sound of that," Tazuna said, "so it is official, the Great Naruto Bridge." It has been a few days since the group left Wave and are heading home, and Naruto still healing due to the amount of damage he took from the Fear Cats but can walk on his own. The group has been curious about the power that Naruto used to fight the Fear Cats. When Haku turned to Naruto asked, "Hey Naruto, what was that power you used to defeat those Fear Cats?" Naruto replied, "The power that I used is the morphing power and the Megazord powers of the morphing grid." Yuzu looked at Naruto and said, "Wait Naru, you told us that you can't morph." Naruto took his morpher to show his girlfriends and said, "This is called a master morpher, it has been designed for me." When he said that, Sasuke went to grab it, but Anko grabbed it to take a closer look, then passed it to Haku to take a closer look, then passed it to her sister who looked at it, then passed it to Kurenai who did the same, then passed it to Robin who looked at the morpher, then gave it back to Naruto who put it back in his pouch. Sasuke went up to Naruto and said in a demanding tone, "Dope, give me that thing now." Naruto just sighed and said, "Again with the demanding thing, and the last time you did that I believe I said no, so that will be my answer." Over the week nothing really happened except Naruto is fully healed and Sasuke demanding the power of the morphing grid and was still demanding the power when the group got back to Konoha. After the group got in, Naruto turned to the group and said, "I will go on ahead," and before anyone could say anything he used his red Dino Gem power and speed off towards the Hokage Tower. When Naruto got there, he met with the Hokage who was doing the bane of every known cage known as paperwork and said, "Hey Gigi," to gain the old man. Hiruzen looked up and said, "Ah Naruto, how are you my boy?" "Well, I am annoyed," replied Naruto. "How come my boy?" asked a concerned old man. "Because of Sasuke Teme, he is demanding I give him the power of the morphing grid and has been for the past week. That is the reason I went on ahead of my team. So I don't break one or both of the rules that comes with the power," replied Naruto. "What do you mean by that Naruto?" Hiruzen asked. "Typically, there are 3 rules, but as Val has gave me the power for the Uzumaki clan there are 2, but unlike normal clan powers non-clan members can use them. Then there will be 3 laws," Naruto explained. "Do you mind telling me the rules?" asked the old man. "The first 2 rules are for the clan. The rule 1 is never use the power for personal gain. Rule 2 is never escalate a fight unless your opponent leaves you with no other option, and the third rule is for the non-clan members that specific relics chooses or if Zordon finds them worthy or meet a requirement, and that rule is never reveal your ranger identity to non-ranger members," Naruto explained. "Do you mind going into depth about specific relics chooses?" asked the confused Hokage. "Sure, I don't mind. From what I understand is that some of the power you can't choose them, they choose you, like the sabers that we got from Marinoi." Hiruzen remembered that trip due to the Galactabeast, the animal crystals. Naruto pulls a red marble and handed it to his grandfather figure who looks at it and sure there was a lion in it, then hands it back to the boy. "And the dino gems," Naruto explained. "What about the requirement?" asked Hiruzen. "Just as it says it needs something in particular like DNA to use the chronomorphers, but Val-chan said not to worry about that and the samurizers should be passed down to parent to oldest child, but yet again Val-chan said not to worry about that. The sunglasses you need to know Pai Zhuck, or the Order of the Claw, which was a secretive school that fights with one's animal spirit. For the ninja morphers you needed to attend the Wind or Thunder Ninja School, which was just as secretive. Pai Zhuck explained Naruto, but before he could finish the door opened to reveal the group that he had left behind. Greetings Hokage-sama, we are here to debrief about the mission to the mysterious island. Kakashi began after Team 7 gave their mission report about the mysterious island, then going to help Team 8 and tried to make Sasuke look good. Then Kurenai gave her about the mission to defend the bridge builder. The Hokage looked at Team 7 and stroked his beard. Okay, you all can go except Naruto, Haku and Yuzu. I need to talk to them privately. When everyone left, the old man went to the wall and opened the secret passageway that he had asked the goddess to make, then turned to the trio and said, please come with me, as Zordon had asked to meet with you too and to speak to all of you, and pointed at the twins. Then the group went to meet with Zordon. Once the passageway was closed, Naruto asked, hey Gigi, do you know what Zordon wanted to speak to us about? No, sorry I don't, lied Hiruzen, as Zordon had asked him to lie. When the group got to the command center, Haku and Yuzu was shocked to see the big head and all the tech. Zordon saw that they had arrived and said, greeting Haku, and to you as well Yuzu, allow me to introduce myself. I was an interdimensional being, Zordon, from the planet Elter. Haku was the first one to snap out of the shock, then she nudged her sister that said, it is nice to meet you Zordon, but why are we here? I will tell you when Alpha 5 summons the rest, Zordon said. Hiruzen was shocked by this, asked Zordon, what do you mean the rest? Just as he said that there was 9 beams of light, when the light there was a dog pile of women, and they were Anko, Kurenai, Hana, Yugo, Kushina, Tsunade, Robin. After everyone got up, Tsunade noticed where they were, turned to Zordon and said, hey Zordon, do you mind telling us why we are here? Of course Tsunade, you are here because the world needs you to protect it, as Team 8 almost lost their lives. They underestimated them. If it wasn't for Team 7 accepting the assistance mission, then you wouldn't have the capable ninjas you now, as they can be way too powerful, and if the powerful races are coming here, then we need to be prepared, Zordon explained. And how do we do that? Asked Yugo. Simple, you all have the power of the morphing grid, Zordon explained. Wait, how you give us the power of a clan? Hana asked. Simple, the power of the morphing grid has not always been with the Uzumakis, came a voice that only 4 know, and all saw a boy about 10 years of age. Hey Kite, how are you and why are you here? Naruto asked. I am good, thanks for asking Naruto, and I am here to help Zordon with potential rangers, said Kite, then with the help with Zordon explained what was going on and what needs to be done. So, let me get this straight, you want to give us the same power that Naruto can use so we can defend the planet from aliens races that might or might not want to conquer our planet, asked Anko. Yes, that is what we want you to do. Now then, can Kushina, Yugo, Kurenai, Hana, Anko please step forward, said people did so. You have been chosen to form an elite team to protect the planet. Each of you will be given access power drawn from ancient animals. Then, as if by magic, the 5 of the had belt buckle. Behold the keys to you power. Those are the power morphers. When in danger that is not of the planet, rise them to the sky, calling your dinosaurs, and you will morph into a formidable fighting force known to one and all as the Power Ranger. As Power Rangers you will have access to a universe of power and will command a fleet of fight machines called Zords. Kushina, bold and powerful, you shall command the Tyrannosaurus Dinozord that turns into the Red Dragon Thunderzord. Yugo, clever and brave, you shall command the Mastodon Dinozord that turns into the Lion Thunderzord. Kurenai, graceful and smart, the Pterodactyl Dinozord that turns into the Firebird Thunderzord shall be yours. Hana, patient and wise, you shall command the Might Triceratops Dinozord that turns into the Unicorn Thunderzord. Anko, fearless and agile, the Saber-toothed Tiger that turns into the Griffin Thunderzord will be under your command. Just as the 5 of you work together, so does your Zords. When you need help, you need only to turn the power of the Dinozords, which will come together to mighty Megazords and the Thunder Megazord. Now if you 5 please with Naruto, he will perform the ceremony that will let you use the Ninja Zords, and I will give the rest their powers, Zordon explained, and the group went with Naruto, who know the layout, as he left shadow clones to explore when he was on the mission to Wave. When the group left, Zordon then continued. Now can Tsunade, Robin, Haku and Yuzu please step forward? Unlike the first group of rangers, they have 6 Zord and most will have 2 or 3 types of Zords. You 4 will have access to 2 sets, so please look B and take one of the crystals that is behind you. When the 4 had picked the crystal floated above them, glowing a different color. The one above Tsunade glowed green. The one above Robin was blue. The one above Haku glowed yellow and the one above Haku was pink. The crystal that you are now in possession of is called the Zeo crystal, which you demorph into the Zeo Rangers. Just like with the power morphers, there was a pair of scraps appeared on everyone's waists. The Zeomorphers will bestow upon you power beyond your imagination, and when in danger connect the two strapped morpher and call your color Haku. From this moment on you will be known as Zeo Ranger 1 Pink Haku, you will be known as Zeo Ranger 2 Yellow Robin, you will be known Zeo Ranger 3 Blue, and Tsunade, the power of Zeo Ranger 4 Green belongs to you. Tsunade noticed something and asked, "Hey Zordon, this pedestal looked like it has 5 crystals, how come there are only 4 crystals?" That is an excellent question, my dear. We had already used the Zeo Ranger 5 red crystal to form the master morpher for Naruto, as it was part of the deal I made with the goddess you call Kami. Haku let her curiosity got the best of her and asked, "Zordon, what is the Zeo crystal anyway?" Zordon answered, "Another excellent question. The Zeo crystal, an extremely powerful crystal which has enormous amounts of energy that is getting stronger with the passage of time, and as Tsunade had noticed, it has 5 sub-crystals." Meanwhile, the group just arrived in the ritual area, which was outside, and the area looked like ancient ruins when Hana says, "Wow." Kushina says, "Amazing." Hana asked, "What is this place, Naruto?" Naruto replies, "These are the ancient ruins of the Ninjeti temple that Val transported from the distant planet of Phedos, and the best part is thanks to the old man and Val-chan this area is part of the Uzumaki compound and nobody can see it thanks to Root Core." Sometime the 5 was standing around one side of a fire with Naruto doing some preparation on the other side, then poured some powder into his hands, then walked up to the fire. The said, "Buried deep within each of us is an animal spirit waiting to be released. Close your eyes and look deep inside." Everyone looked at each other unsure but did so anyway. Then Naruto blew the powder towards each one. The fire seemed to roar into life and grow where the smoke changed into powder and the powder went to the group and their clothing. The fire died down. Then everyone looked at their new clothing and noticed that they are the same color but they looked more like ninjas, and they looked to see what their medallion were, then took their hoods and masks off. Then Naruto walked up to Anko and speaks in a serious tone. "Anko, you are the bear, fierce and unstoppable." Then walks up to his mother and speaks in a serious tone. "Kushina, powerful, smart. You are the might ape." The walks up to Hana and speaks in a serious tone. "Hana, you are the wolf, cunning and swift." Then walks over to Kurenai and speaks in a serious tone. "Agile, Kurenai, light as a feather, you are the crane." When Naruto walk up to Yugo, he sees she has a downcast look and speaks with care. "Yugo. Yugo, what's wrong?" Which she replies in a downcast voice, "I'm a frog." Which Naruto scoffed, then says, "Yes, a frog like the one you kissed to get a handsome prince. Thought for me it should be to get a beautiful princesses." Then he gave her a kiss on the lips which got her to smile, then walks up to a platform, turns around and tells the group, "Before we head back, you need to know to be in harmony with the sacred animal spirit is to have the force of the ninjeti. To those who are ninjeti, anything is possible. Now that is out of the way, let's go back." Kurenai looked at Naruto and asked him, "Hey Naruto, how do you know all this stuff?" "Shortly after I had started journey, Val came to me one night and did what was called a data bump. Basically what that meant was, she gave me all the knowledge of the morphing grid, like how to access it and how to do all the rituals for it. Funny, but that was the same time that she gave the power that the Overdrive Ranger used. Also gave me the DNA of an alien race called a Mercurian." "So, what is a Mercurian anyway?" asked Hana. "Mercurians are a near-humans race. So they appear nearly identical to humans and they have the ability to turn into Mercury," Naruto explained and demonstrated. Then they was at the door and says, "Well, here we are ready for the rest of the introduction of the power of the morphing grid." Which got the girls to laugh. The 6 of them walked thought the door. The Naruto says not too loudly with his arm in the air, "Hi honey, I'm home," which got everyone to laugh. Now then, apart from Kushina and Tsunade, who needs to follow 2 laws as they are Uzumaki, everyone else needs to follow all 3 laws of the morphing grid. "And what are the laws of the morphing grid?" asked Robin. "The laws that everyone must obey or lose the protection of the power. First, never use your power for personal gain. Second, never escalate a battle unless your opponent forces you to, and finally, keep your ranger's identity a secret," explained Kite. "We will do it." Seeing Naruto take on those fear cats and ending up in that state because he had no help. Not sure if Kurenai-sensei and Anko-sensei felt the same, but me and Yuzu felt helpless as we were powerless to help the man we fell in love with, and in that position was unbearable. Haku says, "Which Yuzu?" Robin. Kurenai and Anko agreed in being like sis. Yugo and Hana agreed, and as for Kushina and Tsunade agreed because it sounded like a big adventure, and maybe a little bit was because it was their family's honor. No. Okay, now that is done, I will go home and rest a bit before continuing the search for more potential rangers, Kite said. Before Kite could go, Hiruzen stopped him with a, "Please wait." Kite was it, gaining a nod from said boy. "Well, in 2 months we are holding a promotion exam which allows other village to enter this village, so with yours and Zordon approval I was thinking that we could let the other cage know about the potential threat and maybe choose some of their ninjas to join the ranger ranks." Zordon and Kite shared the same look, and after a couple of minutes Zordon spoke. "You propose a good, so please give us some time to talk it over." Hiruzen then looked relieved and said, "That is only fair as this is a serious matter." And with that Kite disappeared. Then the old man went back to the office saying in a frustrated tone, "Okay, then back to the bane of the cage, that is paperwork." "Hey old man, why don't you get shadow clones to do it?" Naruto shouted without thought of the consequences that was to come, as for most of the night all you heard was a steady banging sound. "Now the back to business Naruto, I need you to go and get the Corona Aurora for me," Zordon asked. Then with a quick teleport he was back in only a matter of minutes. "Okay Zordon, what do you need me to do with the Corona Aurora?" asked Naruto. "I need you to revert Tsunade back into her prime," Zordon said. "And how can a crown do that Zordon?" Tsunade asked. Sudden there was a golden light, and when the light died down there stood a man in what appeared to be golden armor. Because the Corona Aurora is not a normal crown, the Corona Aurora powerful to make mankind tremble at the mention of its name, powerful enough to destroy all life and also capable of restore it, said the figure. "Okay, and who are you?" Tsunade asked. "I am the guardian of the Corona Aurora and my name is Sentinel Knight," said Sentinel Knight. He then took the Corona Aurora from Naruto and then he placed it on her head. Then her body seemed to glow. Then the glow died down, the genjutsu was destroyed and she looked like she did in her late 20s. THSTA all for now. If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments.